Manu Koné breaks his silence on Manchester United links as France push for the World Cup final. Welcome back to Carrick United Analysis, the channel thousands of United fans trust every single week for honest, clear, and reliable transfer news about our club. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button right now, because this channel has become the true home for fans who want the real story, without the noise and without the guessing games. Today we have a fascinating story to break down, because our top midfield target has finally addressed the growing speculation surrounding his future, and the way he has handled it tells us a lot about his character. Manu Koné has broken his silence regarding the heavy links connecting him to Manchester United, expressing genuine humility while remaining completely focused on France's incredible run through this World Cup, where they now prepare to face Spain in the semi-final. Speaking to reporters, the 25-year-old AS Roma midfielder calmly sidestepped the drama surrounding United's collapsed move for Ederson, making clear he does not see himself as any kind of backup plan. Let us start with a big question right away. What does it say about a player's mentality when he can stay this calm and composed, right in the middle of a World Cup semi-final run, while some of the biggest transfer speculation of the summer swirls around him? It tells us a great deal about the kind of professional Manchester United would be bringing into their squad if this move goes through. Today we are going to break down everything Koné has said, why United turned their attention toward him, and what this all means heading into the rest of the summer transfer window. Let us get into it. How Koné ended up linked with United. Before we look at what Koné himself has said, let us quickly recap how this transfer link came about. As we have already covered in detail on this channel, United's move for Atlanta midfielder Ederson ran into serious trouble after a second round of medical testing raised concerns, and the deal ultimately collapsed. With that transfer off the table, United moved quickly, identifying Koné as a genuine alternative to strengthen Michael Carrick's evolving midfield. Koné has been one of the standout performers for France throughout this entire World Cup campaign, offering real physicality, technical ability, and composure in the middle of the pitch. His performances have been strong enough that some respected football voices have even described him as one of the very best midfield options available to France manager Didier Deschamps throughout the tournament. Roma are believed to value him at around €50 million, a figure that reflects just how much his stock has risen thanks to his displays on this stage. Here is a fair question to ask yourself. Why would a club like United specifically target a player already performing so well for one of the tournament favorites, rather than looking elsewhere for a cheaper or lower-profile option? The answer is simple. When a club is serious about building real quality into their squad, they target proven performers, even if that means paying a premium price and competing with other interested clubs along the way. Koné speaks about the United speculation. When asked directly about the growing links to Manchester United, Koné responded with genuine humility and a calm, professional tone. Rather than getting drawn into speculation or building up excitement around a potential move, he acknowledged simply that interest from a club as big as Manchester United is something any player would find flattering, and that it reflects well on the hard work he has been putting in, both for Roma and for the France national team. Here is a question worth thinking about. Why does it matter so much when a player responds to transfer speculation with humility rather than arrogance or excessive excitement? Football fans everywhere tend to respect players who stay grounded during moments like this, especially when they are still fully focused on an ongoing international tournament with huge stakes attached. Koné's calm and measured response suggests a player with real maturity, someone who understands the importance of staying focused on the job directly in front of him, refusing to see himself as a backup option. One particularly interesting part of Koné's response involved how he addressed the idea of being viewed as United's alternative choice, following the collapse of the Ederson deal. Rather than allowing himself to be defined by that narrative, Koné made clear that he does not think in terms of being a first choice or a second choice for any club. Instead, he expressed the view that football is about timing and opportunity, and that any club showing genuine interest in him wants him specifically for the qualities and ability he brings to the pitch, not simply as a fallback plan. Here is a fair question to sit with. Do you think this kind of self-assured mindset is something that will help Koné adapt quickly if a transfer to Manchester United does eventually happen? Players who carry genuine self-belief, without crossing into arrogance, often settle into new environments with far more confidence and composure. Koné's response here suggests exactly that kind of grounded self-assurance. How Koné addressed the Ederson situation. Koné was also asked specifically about the collapsed Ederson transfer, given how closely his own name has become associated with that story. He responded respectfully, expressing genuine admiration for Ederson as a talented player, while making clear that whatever happened during that medical process is a matter between Ederson and the two clubs involved. He was careful to explain that his own focus remains entirely on his personal path and his own physical fitness, rather than commenting further on a situation that does not directly involve him. Here is a question worth thinking about. Why is it important for a player in Koné's position to avoid getting drawn into commentary about another player's private medical situation? This reflects genuine respect and professionalism. Speculating publicly about another player's medical circumstances would have been an easy trap to fall into, especially with journalists actively pushing for a reaction. Koné's decision to steer well clear of that topic shows real maturity and awareness of appropriate boundaries, even under direct questioning. Koné's complete focus on France's World Cup run. Perhaps the most telling part of everything Koné has said relates to where his true focus currently lies. He made clear that, for now, discussions about his club future are firmly on hold, with his attention entirely dedicated to helping France push toward World Cup glory. France have been in outstanding form throughout this tournament, comfortably beating Morocco in the quarter-final to set up a mouth-watering semi-final showdown against Spain. Koné emphasized that this is an enormous moment for both himself and his country, and that any conversations about his club future can wait until after the tournament reaches its conclusion. This kind of complete focus, even while one of the biggest transfer stories of the summer plays out in the background, tells us a great deal about his priorities and his mental discipline during an incredibly demanding period of his career. Here is a fair question to ask. How difficult do you think it is for any player to fully block out major transfer speculation while still performing at an elite level in one of the biggest tournaments in world football? This requires enormous mental discipline. Many players have struggled with exactly this kind of distraction in the past, allowing transfer talk to affect their focus and performance during major tournaments. Koné's ability to firmly compartmentalize this speculation, while continuing to deliver strong performances for France, speaks volumes about his professionalism. Why this response should excite United fans. It would be easy to assume that a calm, measured response like this suggests a lack of genuine interest in a move to Manchester United. In reality, the opposite is likely true. Here is a question worth thinking about. Why might a mature, professional response like this actually be a positive sign for United fans, rather than a discouraging one? Think about it this way. A player who allows transfer speculation to completely dominate his focus during a World Cup semi-final run is often a player who struggles to handle pressure and distraction well. A player who can acknowledge genuine interest, express respect for all parties involved, and still remain entirely focused on the job at hand is showing exactly the kind of mental strength and professionalism that top clubs want to build their squads around. If anything, this response should give United fans real confidence that Koné possesses the temperament to handle the pressure of performing at a massive club like Manchester United. Why Roma are braced for a serious offer. While Koné has kept his own public comments measured and calm, sources in Italy indicate that AS Roma are preparing for an official Premier League bid to arrive. The Italian club is reportedly holding firm on their valuation of around €50 million, fully aware that Koné's excellent performances throughout this World Cup have significantly increased his overall market value. Here is a question worth thinking about. Why would Roma feel so confident holding out for their full valuation, even with a big club like Manchester United showing strong interest? The answer comes down to leverage. Every strong performance Koné produces on the World Cup stage only strengthens Roma's negotiating position, since it becomes increasingly clear to the entire footballing world just how much quality and potential he offers. Selling clubs in this position rarely feel pressure to lower their asking price, particularly when their player continues to enhance his own reputation on such a massive stage. There is also interest from other clubs to consider. Reports suggest Arsenal and Newcastle United have also shown interest in Koné, meaning United may need to move quickly and decisively if they want to win this particular transfer race. Here is a fair question to ask yourself. Does increased competition from other clubs make it more or less likely that United will need to meet Roma's full valuation in order to complete this signing? In most cases, genuine competition from multiple interested clubs tends to strengthen a selling club's position even further, making it far less likely they will accept a discounted offer. Why Koné would be such a strong fit for Carrick's midfield? Let us think carefully about why Koné specifically appeals so strongly to Michael Carrick as he continues building his midfield this summer. Koné offers a powerful combination of athleticism, physicality, and genuine technical quality on the ball, having consistently impressed with his ability to carry the ball forward under pressure throughout this tournament. His performances have been particularly notable given the injury struggles faced by Aurélien Tchouaméni during this same World Cup, with Deschamps relying heavily on Koné to provide stability and control in the middle of the pitch for France. In fact, some reports suggest France's overall midfield play has looked considerably more fluid with Koné in the side compared to alternative options. Here is a question worth sitting with. If Koné has been outperforming a player as talented and experienced as Tchouaméni during matches at this World Cup, what does that tell us about his current level and his readiness to make an immediate impact in the Premier League? Based on everything we have seen from him this summer, there is a strong case that Koné is playing some of the best football of his entire career right now, at exactly the moment United are considering making their move. What this means for United's wider midfield rebuild. Let us connect this story to the bigger picture we have already been following closely on this channel throughout the summer. United have already added André Santos from Chelsea, and were previously working toward completing the Ederson transfer before that deal fell through. With Manuel Ugarte facing an extended spell out through injury, and Casemiro having already departed the club, United retain real urgency to add further depth and quality to their central midfield options. A successful move for Koné would represent United's third major midfield addition of this transfer window, showing genuine resilience and clear planning, even after the disappointment of losing out on Ederson earlier in the summer. Here is a fair question to ask yourself. Does the way United have responded to this setback, moving quickly and decisively toward an informed alternative like Koné, give you more confidence in how this squad is being built heading into next season? Many fans and analysts would agree that reacting to disappointment with speed, clarity, and strong alternative planning reflects extremely well on the club's overall approach to this transfer window. What to watch for next? As this story continues developing, here are a few important things every United fan should keep a close eye on. Watch closely for confirmation of an official bid from United once Roma's valuation becomes the focal point of negotiations. Keep an eye on how Koné continues to perform as France push through their semi-final against Spain, since further strong displays could only increase his value and the level of competition for his signature. And pay attention to how Koné himself continues to handle the speculation, since his composed, professional response so far suggests a player fully capable of managing pressure both on and off the pitch. This channel will continue tracking every single update connected to this story as it develops. From official club statements to trusted transfer reporting, to detailed breakdowns of how Koné could fit into Carrick's evolving midfield plans, Carrick United Analysis will be right here bringing you the full picture, explained in simple and honest language every single time. Wrapping things up. So there we have it. Manu Koné has broken his silence on the heavy speculation linking him with Manchester United, responding with genuine humility, professionalism, and total focus on France's remarkable push through this World Cup toward a semi-final showdown with Spain. He has refused to be defined as a simple backup option following the collapse of United's move for Ederson, expressing respect for that entire situation while keeping his own attention firmly fixed on his current priorities. Meanwhile, Roma are bracing for a serious offer from the Premier League, holding firm on their valuation as Koné's stock continues rising thanks to his outstanding performances on the biggest stage in world football. For United fans, this composed, mature response should bring real confidence, both in the character of the player being targeted and in the club's ability to respond quickly and decisively to setbacks throughout this transfer window. Thank you so much for reading and for being part of this community here at Carrick United Analysis. If this breakdown helped you understand this transfer story a little better, please share it with fellow United fans who need the real story instead of guesswork. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already, turn on notifications so you never miss an update, And drop a comment below telling us whether you believe United will complete a deal for Manu Koné this summer. We will see you in the next one, right here at Carrick United Analysis, your trusted home for honest Manchester United coverage. Glory, glory, Man United!